They used to get to me, but not as bad anymore.
Yeah, like they don't really get to me. It's like the only really horror movie that's ever gotten to me was Sinister. Like I don't know why,
That's on my watch list.
dude.
Is that a good one?
Uh, yeah, it's good. And like I didn't even watch the whole movie. Like I forget where I was. I think I was at my girlfriend's house and I was watching. I had to leave, but I saw like half a movie and dude, it got me good. Like I was on edge for the next couple of days.
Now I want to watch it even more because I got it on Blu-ray right over there.
Really,
Oh shoot!
the only other movie that's ever gotten to me was the first Purge, because like hold on. It's not like it was
That little blonde rich dude got to you?
no. It's not like it was scary or anything. Like it wasn't
Oh
like
shoot!
that movie wasn't scary at all. But like I watched that at night and then like I let my dog outside like right after watching it and like I just took like a quick double take peek outside again, just like make sure everything was all right. And like that was like the only other time I was like ever like a movie kind of just affected me like that. I was like, well,
The Purge.
I mean,
Let's see.
yeah, I'm not proud of it, but
When I was little, it was the Scream 2. I don't know why. And then Nightmare on Elm Street's probably the only one that's like actually that still scares me because like frick, like if I go to sleep, that's when he's going to freaking get me.
sure, why not?
I can't think of another movie that like scared me bad. No, I got nothing.
I don't know. I feel like there's more movies that have made me cry than scared me, and I can count only like 2 movies that have ever made me cry.
Movies that made me cry.
Marley and Me, number one, obviously.
Never seen it. Dog dies. Freaking sad. Boo.
It is sad, dude. Like dogs get to me.
It's a dead dog. I don't like seeing pets, freaking animals die in movies.
Like my girlfriend wants me to watch. It's either A Dog's Journey or A Dog's Purpose. I mean, I think maybe both. I think those are.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that's sad.
And like I refuse to watch them. Like I refuse to watch
I
movies
just
about
remember
dogs.
hearing the premise of it, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch that,
Like,
even though
why
it sounds
would you?
adorable and sad.
Why do people want to watch sad movies like that? Like, just
If it's like if it's a feel good sad, it's one thing, but if it's just sad, it's like, well, what the heck?
give me like just Benicio del Toro like killing people. Like that's I'd rather have something like that. Um, I was trying to think, what's the other movie? Oh, the other movie that made me cry. Oh, it was a lion movie. It was called Two Brothers, and this was when I was like six.
It's gonna be like Lion King. That's a weird way to describe Lion King.
No. It's
It's a lion movie.
it came out like when I was like 6 or something, and like one of the brothers gets shot or something, or like the mom gets shot or something, and then the other two brothers get separated. Like that made me cry. But it made me only like tear up. It didn't like make me cry.
I'm trying to think of a movie that made. There's been movies that I'm like on the verge, but I fight it. It's hard to make me cry for a movie. Like Toy Story 3, I wasn't even crying.
No.
I was like, it was kind of like a happy smile at the end when he was like talking about the toys. I never cried.
Yeah, let me look at my list because like
Toy Story 4, they tried to hype that movie up so bad, like this is the saddest freaking Pixar thing ever, and that was the dumbest. No,
man, you were able to tell like right away by like the trailer and everything, and them introducing probably just the
mm-hmm.
most laziest like addition ever in Forky. Like how lazy were the writers?
Forky. It seemed like I like the idea of garbage turning into a toy, but that's like a throwaway kind of gag for a regular Toy Story movie. That's not
Yeah,
like the oh frick Forky guys, let's
yeah,
freaking tune into this.
that would have been like a nice short, but yeah. I'm trying to think. Jojo Rabbit was sad, but like that didn't make me.
I still haven't seen it. Boy in a Striped Pajamas, I remember that. I was like, oh frick, dude, don't no need to get clean now.
Right, I was just
Uh,
well, like my standing ovation. Oh no, that's the wrong movie. Never mind.
let's see. I don't get it. I don't get the joke.
Never mind.
I'm trying.
I was
I didn't think it was a joke, and then I looked at you, and you're looking for a laugh, and I'm like, oh frick,
was
was that
making
supposed to be funny?
making a
Sorry.
joke for a standing ovation about 2 kids dying in the Holocaust, Matt, but that's okay.
Wait,
Have you
I don't get it, dude. It's going right over me. What the heck?
just don't worry about it, Matt. It's okay.
It's all good. Well, we'll fix it in post.
Oh, I gotta add Frozen 2 to the movie list that I watched.
Oh God,
The
why?
wickedly talented
Was
Adele.
it good?
It wasn't
I
bad.
liked your tweet. Oh shoot.
That was the like only way that I could figure out how to spell Adele Dazeem. Like I couldn't think of any other way to. I mean,
It's just gibberish. Just go like on the keyboard.
Frozen 2 was okay. The first one was better, but like,
I'm not a bit fan of the first Frozen. It's a cute movie, but I thought it was overhyped as frick.
so yeah,
I'm sure if I watched it before the hype, I would have had a better time with the movie. But holy frick,
that's what I did. I saw it like, first couple days after it came out in theaters, and I didn't know anything about it, but I went in
hmm
there and I was generally impressed with it. Second one was okay. I mean, it's hard to live up to the first one. Uh, but I don't know. I think they're fine. For some reason, I have a soft spot for movies like that. Um, which leads me into my first topic. We're recording, by the way. We're just gonna do these Joe Rogan
oh
intros before we actually think of something
frick,
good.
I was gonna take my pants off.
Ah, so we'll get to my self promotion second. So my
Oh,
first, I have a comparison here for Michael Jordan.
Mitchell Jordan.
For Mitchell Jordan. No, for Michael Jordan. So I don't know if you watched the Last Dance documentary.
Yeah, watched it all.
Really
Good
good.
time.
It was great. One of the quotes that I found was when Jordan was talking about like his earlier days playing with the Bulls. He was like,
hmm
"Oh, when people think about Michael Jordan, they only think about a guy who wins scoring titles. They don't think about a guy who wins championships." And
hmm
so I was in my car today. I was driving a few different places for work, and I was listening to some Disney soundtracks. And I was like,
Oh God, where is this going?
all right, and I'm grooving along. For some reason, I have a soft spot for Disney stuff, and I mean, to be
Yeah,
fair, they put out good content. The stories are great
yeah,
and all that. But the thing
yeah.
that
It's Disney.
the thing that always impresses me about Disney movies is how good their soundtracks are. And I was listening to
Okay.
them, and I was listening to them, and I was like, Phil Collins is a lot like Michael Jordan, cause
Oh God.
cause before Tarzan, like, you're thinking about Phil Collins. This dude's a great drummer. He can sing at the same time. Like, come on, like, that's great, but is it really great? And then you listen to Tarzan soundtrack, and it is the best Disney soundtrack there is, and I will not stand for anything else. Yeah,
That's a bad take.
maybe besides
That's a bad
Coco.
take.
Besides Coco, but that Tarzan soundtrack is great. Two Worlds? Are you kidding me? It's great. Raised by Man or Born to something? Hold on. Tar Tarzan sound
Zan, yeah.
Tarzan soundtrack. I mean, obviously, "You'll Be in My Heart" is,
Dude, all Phil Collins songs sound the same.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Why am I gonna listen to a man that I think is this like rock star legend, but then I looked up a picture of him and he looked like that guy from Seinfeld.
Every single one of Michael Jordan's mid-range jumpers look the same.
What? I forgot we were even comparing him to Michael Jordan. What?
And that's what set Jordan was apart was those ability to knock down those mid-range jumpers one after the other. Son of man, that's what I'm looking for. You kidding me? Oh,
Yeah, that's a good. I'll give you some of man, but that's the. Have you ever seen the Disney movie Brother Bear?
uh,
Have you ever seen that one?
how long ago did it come out?
It was like 2003. I
Let
want to say
me let me look
it's
here.
it's
Brother
the one about
Bear.
the bear and then the human, and he turns into a bear so he can learn what it's like to be a bear
You know,
and like be a good parent. I don't even know. It's not that good of a movie. And Phil Collins did that one, and I'm like, holy cow, Phil Collins. I see the effort, Phil, but it's not working for me. That's my take on Phil Collins. I
yeah,
think he's very overrated.
ooh, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight.
Okay, hold on. While I have you here, "In the Air Tonight"
Mhm.
is probably one of the most overrated songs in
Sure,
history.
sure.
The Wait, are you like being sarcastic
Oh
or do
no,
you agree with
absolutely, I
me?
completely agree.
Oh my god.
Well, I
These
don't know if
This
it's
is my
overrated.
people.
Hold up. Well, yes, it is
No, it's
overrated.
overrated.
It's
It's
overrated,
over.
but that's
I'm
because
not gonna say it's a bad song. I will
Sure.
say it's overrated as frick.
Sure, very overplayed. I mean, the only reason that it ever got the so big of hype that it did was from the Hangover movies, and when people hear jokes like that and stuff like that, they always like to cling on to that and just listen to it for the next 10 years, and
Hmm.
it didn't help with the whole Baker Mayfield thing of them playing it every game. Oh God,
Yeah.
no, I completely agree. In the Air Tonight, really, I don't know, a really good song, but
It's like a minute of this guy with echo, and I'm like, okay. And then the big thing is this drum, which is supposed to be like everyone says it's this grand thing, and it's just like it's not that great, okay? I'm sorry. If this was Rock Band, that's an easy drum solo right there. I'm not like getting anxious like, "Oh frick, my drum solo's coming up. I better nail this." Like it's not that hard.
yeah, that Journey, help me out here.
Don't stop
Don't
believing.
Stop Believing. Which
Bohemian Rhapsody's overrated
Bohemian
while we're
Rhapsody.
here.
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
I already talked about this before.
yeah, I mean, Don't Stop Believing was from Family Guy, obviously. Bohemian Rhapsody was from Bohemian Rhapsody. But I don't know. Before Bohemian Rhapsody, before the movie, the song was phenomenal. But I mean, it
No, it
just
was it
got
was it was overrated before.
very overplayed. You're overrated. You know what?
I'm not even rated, so I disagree.
The
I'm
song
not
is
even on the board.
great poetry, great chord
It's
progression.
nonsense. These dudes were on freaking acid. It's nonsense. Please
Okay,
tell me what the song Bohemian Rhapsody is about.
most innovations in the history of the world have been because
Please tell
people were
me
on
what
acid.
Bohemian Rhapsody is about.
You look it up. It's on Genius.
I don't care that much. You're saying it's poetry. What speaks to you in Bohemian Rhapsody?
Everything.
Would they randomly yell Galileo? Is that what gets you hyped? This
It's
dude's like
I
confessing to
it's a cool
murder, and
it's a
then
cool
he's like,
part.
"Oh frick! Look at the stars. I want to get
It's
a
a cool
telescope and
part.
yell
But
Galileo."
Galileo,
No,
Galileo, Galileo Figaro, Magnifico. Dude, we might
it
get
sounds like a
copyright. We might
dang
get copyright strike from that.
frick. Now our $0 are gonna get hit. This sucks.
Uh, do you on your videos? Um do you have enough views and everything to make monetize? If that's not too personal of a question, but
Yes. Yeah,
how
I got hit hard
I was about to say
with
how
the
much
Skip Bayless videos for copyright, so
copyright
I had
hits
to
do you?
take down a lot of those.
I was about to say how much copyright do you get because of those?
Okay, so my like the first like there was like I had 12 Skip Bayless videos where it's just like
And those were huge.
clips and then I'll put in like text
Hmm.
and I'll put in like little memes
Sure.
and like looking back probably not fair use, so that's why they're taken down. Like I
Yeah.
have them saved on my computer. I might put them on something else. It's a fine line, and for my channel it's like something I was trying to get away from because I wanted to be more involved in my videos. So
Sure.
like they had to get taken down because like monetization got completely wiped from my channel. And like before I was making like a couple $100 a month to from my videos, but now it's like every 2 months I'm able to make money on the videos. But I got hit hard with the copyright on those.
Yeah, because that's what I was wondering. Because I knew the Skip Bayless ones were huge for you,
Hmm.
and that's what I was
Yeah.
wondering. Because now I know you have guys like Colin Coward that you like to commentate on and everything. And like, but I would
Hmm.
imagine that falls under the React category where or like commentary
Hmm.
category where fair use is in play. But I just never knew
Hmm.
how much you got. Because I mean, you're getting vid caps from directly from the show. So
Yeah. So like how it works is like I'll upload like all the skip videos where I'm like talking on the videos are still up because like I'm adding commentary, I'm adding something to the video and I'm changing the original purpose of the video.
sure.
And so like it's all fair use and I'm still going to get hit with the copyright because ESPN, Fox Sports, all the big companies they have like this automatic thing where it's like if you use a long enough portion of their content, it's going to automatically flag it for copyright. So
Right.
I have to upload the video, I have to leave it unlisted, wait for them to automatically get claimed, then I
Sure.
have to appeal it, and then it usually gets fixed by over 24 hours,
Right.
and then I upload it, and then it's live.
Right.
But
Okay.
and then there's some where it's manually freaking claimed, and it ticks me off because they're just trying to steal money from me. But yeah, it's not that bad. You just
Okay.
have to, like, if you want to upload your videos right away, it's annoying, but you just have to wait and
Well, now
finagle it.
could you hypothetically re-upload the Skip Bayless videos and just not claim monetization on them, or would you still get hit with copyright strikes?
I've see, my initial plan was to just put them on a different channel, but in theory, I think I could just turn monetization off. Oh, I said in theory, and Siri started turning on. Okay, but in theory, I think if I turned off monetization and just re-uploaded it, it'll still get claimed,
Hmm.
and then Fox Sports, ESPN will monetize it. I never had a problem with ESPN. Anytime I freaking uploaded Skip Bayless first take thing, I was like ESPN, and then I ended up talking to someone at ESPN, and they're like, "Oh, you're good. It gives us more traction on our stuff." But Fox Sports is ticking me off because they're like, "Frick, dude, we need this $13 you were gonna make on
I,
this video."
and that's why Fox Sports, no matter how bad ESPN is at just literally everything, that's why Fox Sports will never catch
Yeah,
up because it feels like Fox Sports has just always made the wrong decisions at the worst time. No matter how bad ESPN's
on
decisions.
purpose. It seems like too.
Well, like
They're just like, I want to suck.
I feel like Fox, like a few years ago, they're like, oh yeah, we're having no journalism whatsoever from now on. Every single piece of content is going to be video. And I was like,
Mhm.
that might be the worst decision you can make.
And it just seems like they took all the worst people from ESPN. Like
Yeah.
they took all the villains. That's like if Fox Sports was to start Disney and they're like, all right, give me Jafar, Medusa, freaking Ursula, give me all the villains. Like they got Skip, they got Coward wasn't a villain at ESPN, but he kind of
No.
turned into one. Jason Whitlock was, oh god. They they,
Yeah.
they just took all the worst people.
You know, I liked Coward when he was on Sports Nation, and like he obviously acted like an arrogant prick, but you know that was just him more
Oh
like
no, you don't
that
say.
was him more like playing up to the bit. But I no,
Yeah.
like Fox Sports, like they made Nick Wright just so
Oh my
insufferable.
god.
Like Nick Wright was great when he was guest appearing on like Colin Coward and everything. It's like, all right, this guy is
Mhm.
something. Like, he knows his stuff, and mostly it was talking about LeBron, but like he was funny, he had great charisma, he was very well spoken, like the cadence of his
Yeah.
voice, like he was able to just breeze through every single stat and every single point that he was
Right.
making so fluently, and now they just
Mhm.
make him so insufferable.
Yeah, it seems like the easy way, not the easier way to get on TV as like a sports commentator is to just have the most controversial, hottest takes on the biggest athletes in the world that at least 50% of the people are going to get clicks just because they disagree with you so bad. And it just boosts the numbers and viewers because everyone just hates you so much and that's why I watched Skip Bayless for the longest time and now I can't even watch any of them because they're so insufferable at this point.
Yeah,
They
like
they just say things for the views and it ticks me off, man.
Skip's always done that. Stephen
Hmm.
A. It just he just makes nonsense the entire time. I don't think Stephen A's actually ever made a point. He just yells. Um,
I think he it's like, all right, I haven't acted shocked about what someone said yet, so let me do that really quick.
yeah, he realized his whole shtick is just him yelling, and
Freaking out.
dude, he's really stuck to that bit. I'm trying to think.
Hmm.
Shannon Sharp is he's
Holy
just
cow, man! It's
not
so
good.
it's so hard to watch a Hall of Fame athlete just freaking obsess over LeBron James. Like I get it, LeBron, like he's the greatest of all time. That's not an unreasonable take. It's just I get it. You don't have to nail it in my freaking head every 2 seconds. You talk about basketball, man.
Yeah, like and like when Shannon Sharp talks about football, it's bearable. He obviously knows his stuff, but
Yeah.
he realized his shtick is over exaggerating his reactions. Like with the
Hmm.
whoa 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 whoa, like all of that stuff. The skip, like it's just I,
Hmm.
I don't know. Like all these guys have realized they have a shtick, and they
Hmm.
pound it into the dirt. That's why guys like Van Pelt, obviously Van Pelt's probably the most just respected guy. I mean,
Hmm.
Kellerman. I feel like Kellerman gets a little bit too much hate. He obviously likes to lean
But there's some
controversial.
stuff he says where I'm like, just shut your mouth,
Yeah,
Max. But for the most part. Max is bearable, I'll
Max
say.
is bearable, but like Van Pelt's great. Mina Kimes is she's awesome.
I don't
Green
even know who that is.
Mina Kimes,
Oh
she's
wait, she's a football reporter, right?
yeah, for ESPN. Um,
Hmm.
I'm trying to think who else. Greenberg, Mike Greenberg is probably like one of the only few
Oh yeah,
respected guys left. What's Lebitard? Le- I don't
yeah.
know. I like some of Lebitard's stuff. He seems fine, but there's other times where I
The bar is so low for these people
it
that it's just
really
like,
is.
oh, you said something. I kind of was like, oh, that's insightful. Okay,
Like I
it's
and
just
every single person who has a big sports podcast has all those people to thank because like people don't want to listen to that anymore. People just want to talk about people breaking down sports and people talking
yeah,
about all that. And we've had our hot takes here, but like we don't go out of
yeah,
our way to make our hot takes unless we're trying to like, do like a
yeah. We're
bit
not.
or something.
It's what we actually believe. We're not trying to over exaggerate anything we say,
Hmm.
unless it's for like comedic effect or something. But
Exactly.
I said something about ESPN earlier where it's like all their like gossip, all their like rankings and debate type stuff. You could just click all those articles and it's fine. But all their like insightful breaking down stuff, like all the actual like journalistic things that ESPN can be like writing about, that's all behind ESPN Plus. And
I
I'm
was
not
about to
gonna
say
freaking buy ESPN Plus.
it's all behind a paywall. Like, and that's the great
It's
thing
so
about the
stupid.
that's a great thing about the Athletic is that everything's behind a paywall, but everything is like top tier content.
Right. It's like you know what you're getting with the athletic, but it's
Hmm.
like with ESPN, you feel like, oh, you're the worldwide leader of sports for the low price of $4.99 a month or whatever it is.
Yeah, I have an Athletic subscription. I haven't used it as much as I wanted to, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
that I've even got my money out of. But I still feel very happy with my purchase just because of the content that I've been able to read from it.
And what you're supporting, like actual like journalists and actual reporters.
Mhm. I have I would have very serious reservations about getting something from ESPN Plus. I don't even think I can't remember the last time like I wanted to click on an article and it said ESPN Plus. I can't remember the last time like something like
And it's anytime I click on an ESPN alert I get on my phone, or anytime they tweet something, I'm like, oh, that's an interesting read. It's anytime, every time it's ESPN Plus, and it's like, okay, I'll just kill myself now. It's fine.
yeah, it's easier. Whenever I see an article or something interesting to look, it's either from the Athletic, it's something from a local newspaper, or it's from Bleacher Report. Like how bad is ESPN that
Hmm.
I'd rather read from Bleacher Report?
And Bleacher Report has the same stuff, but they still like I think they balance it out a lot better than ESPN.
And they at least embrace some of it too. Like
Yeah.
Bleacher Report doesn't take themselves as seriously.
Hmm.
But yeah. All right, what
That
do
was a
we
fun rant. We
uh
went from Phil
Phil
Collins,
Collins.
Michael Jordan to overrated songs to, oh man, ESPN's paywall is ridiculous. That's
um
crazy.
I yeah, I mean the only thing that ESPN does good now is Scott Van Pelt show and fantasy football.
I don't. I can't even remember the last time I turned on my TV and I'm like, you know what? ESPN. Let's see what they have to say. It's either a game is on ESPN or I'm not watching ESPN anymore.
Dude, I watched Sports Center for hours on a day.
Yep.
I would watch the same exact Sports Center from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Yep.
when I was like 10. And I was
That's
just
how. That's where I got all my highlights. That's where I got all my sports updates, like injuries or anything.
yeah.
Like box scores, all of that.
Yeah,
And
and
now it's. I think it's changed because of the internet. It's a lot easier to do that.
sure,
But also,
sure.
it's just like the amount of effort that's gone into it, and it's just I don't know. I guess it's just changed in
And
my eyes.
like I mentioned earlier about, podcasts, but like I'd rather get my, sports news or at least my football news from like the Pat McAfee show than
Mhm.
ESPN. And Pat McAfee is just not a very good source for anything, but like at least he's entertaining, at least
He never claimed to be the best source.
no,
I don't think. I don't know. I don't watch the Pat McAfee show.
I don't think so either. Um, uh, but no, like just I don't know what ESPN needs to do because they let go of all their talent, especially their sports center talent. I mean, that's what made ESPN.
Hmm.
And then you're able to go to shows like Around the Horn was an awesome show.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Pardon the interruption, which I still think is going on, but like I've just completely,
Yeah, with
you know,
Michael Wilbon,
Michael Wilbon and the other guy. Um,
the white guy. What's
we
his
are Tony Kornhauser. Is that his name?
Nebraska Cornhusker? Is that his name?
Tony Kornheiser. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
And
said
then
that.
Sports Nation, like those three, like after
Mm-hmm.
Sports Center, like yeah, that was great. That was an awesome time to grow up and watch sports stuff. But I don't know, they're such crap now. All right, man. Is there anything else you want to get into? Like you want to talk about a little bit, but before I get into my self promotion.
Dude, no. Let's hear the self promotion.
All
You
right.
didn't tell me what this is, and I want to know.
So not a lot of people know about this, but
He
started.
has an OnlyFans.
I have started my own OnlyFans, man.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
I led you on to a joke, and you actually starting it.
Yes. That is going to be.
Oh, that's the best.
I'm gonna do. That's where I'm gonna compile all of my, TikToks, tweets, just funny memes
Oh
that I
boy.
think of. I'm gonna compile all of that. It's free.
And wiener pictures.
It's free. No, none of that, unless people want to
Well, now
pay.
I'm not interested.
Unless people want to
God.
pay.
How
Um,
much?
Dude, like, I wouldn't want to, but if there's like at least
I need a price.
if there's like at least like 15 people willing to give like $20 a month, like why not?
$20.
A month, but 15 people.
How big's your wiener? No, too far. Okay.
um, but no, like, any stupid joke that like I want to make on Twitter, I'll also make on here. You can, and of course with OnlyFans, I had to figure out a sensual, username. But even though
Oh God.
none of that content's gonna be posted on it, so you can follow me on OnlyFans
Oh boy.
at Brownie Delight 45. Um,
I can't even look at you.
but yeah,
Holy
so
frick.
follow me
Brownie
there.
delight.
You're gonna find a lot of great content. Why don't you go to my profile right now and take a good peek at my header and profile.
I have to actually type brownie delight. Dear God.
Oh,
There it is. OnlyFans. I've never even been on OnlyFans.
don't
Ooh,
lie.
I'm a dirty boy. I'm a dirty boy. Dude, come on, man. All right, so talk about something else while I load this.
Um, I don't know what else I want to talk about really.
Just talk about something like lighthearted, like abortion or something.
I uh I don't know if I talked about this on the show, but I saw the movie The Raw Missy with David Spade. A lot of people really liked the movie. I thought it was just okay. I like David Spade. I think most of that's um, just from all of his work with Chris Farley. But I like David Spade, so I was willing to give him the
Yeah.
benefit of the doubt. But I don't know. Everybody liked the movie. I don't know if it was for me. I thought some parts were very funny, but it wasn't my cup of tea. Um,
What the heck is this website? Holy frick. How
man,
can you search for something on
do you need me
here?
to? I'm just gonna link you.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, do that. Please link me to Brownie Delight.
Before you fall into a rabbit hole. What other movies have you
Ooh.
seen recently? I finally was able to see Hidden Figures, and that movie was phenomenal. Um,
What's that about?
that's about the three African American women who worked for NASA, who were an integral part
Oh.
of John Glenn orbiting Earth. Um, what else? I saw a Christian baseball movie called Full Count, and I can't tell you how much I hated the movie. Um,
Can you explain to me how it got the name Full Count?
well, you get it, Matt. It's a baseball term, but it's
No,
also
yeah, what's the Christian link here?
it's a Christian movie with baseball like aspects
No,
to
but
it.
like how do you get like full count is baseball, right? Does it
Sure.
have anything does the phrase full count have anything to do Christian wise that makes it clever?
More like, maybe like it's a full count and there's like a lot of pressure on you and everything. Like think of a
Wow.
full count situation, you know?
I would have named it Jesus on Deck.
Ooh.
Would that have worked?
I would have named it Angels in the Outfield. Wait.
Dude, I hate to break it to you,
Oh,
but
darn it.
already taken. Oh,
um,
there's Brownie Delight. Yeah, that's you. Oh wow. Okay, I'm gonna close that out. All right.
Wait, did you see my post?
Oh yeah, I saw it.
The release the Schneider cut?
You're proud of that.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. Uh,
It's one of those that hit you later.
you got it now?
Oh my God.
Uh,
Sick.
that's a good pun. That's a good pun, Matt. You
Yeah,
know it.
I like that. I'll give it 9.9 out of 10.
Um, all right. Let's get into some quick NBA talk. Obviously everybody's in the bubble now, and everybody besides Steven Adams just has never stayed at a three-star hotel before. Um, I I can't believe that there are millionaires complaining about free boarding and all of that. I understand they're away from their families and everything. That sucks. But dude, come on.
Yeah.
Like these guys have had such a pampered lifestyle that they don't even realize that, you know, this is
This is
kind of what
at
the average
Disney
person
World.
deals with, especially when it comes to food. Like they're not used to, a five-star chef making them, steak salads and everything.
Who was the NBA player that got had to go outside of the bubble because he got Postmates delivered?
Oh,
Because I know Kelly Oubre tweeted about it, and then someone did it, and then the NBA's like, yeah, "No, don't actually."
Rashawn Holmes, from the Kings.
What if Adam Silver's like, "Dude, we were freaking working on an Uber Eats brand deal here, and then you go and do that junk? Like, what the heck?"
All right, so obviously there's some players that don't want to sit out. So there's Trevor Ariza, from the Trailblazers, who said he's sitting out.
Oh, that's a big blow. If this was 2012,
I I don't know, like the Trailblazers. I don't think they're too deep, and they need every guy they can get though. Um,
it's not like Damian Lillard's gonna let anyone else shoot.
what about C.J.
No,
McCollum?
I like CJ McCollum. I don't think he gets enough touches.
That's a good take.
I-
All right.
yeah. All right. Oh, the pause was like, "Oh God, what did I say?" But then he's
Um,
like, "Yeah, I agree."
Avery Bradley. What do you think about him sitting? I didn't know how much of a role he played for the Lakers this year. So
I like Avery Bradley.
how big of a
Well, we
loss is
got
that?
Rondo out because of the whatever injury, something with his hand.
Broken thumb, I
So
think.
Rondo out. Yeah. So Avery Bradley, I liked Avery Bradley this year. I liked him when he was on the Celtics. I thought he was a solid player.
Hmm.
Lakers aren't the deepest team, so it kind of concerns me. And I guess we'll just have to deal with Deion Waiters and J.R. Smith now.
Yeah, but
See how that goes.
they have arrested LeBron, and
That's right. Yeah, I'm freaking. I'm confident.
it's at this point where we've never seen arrested LeBron in the playoffs before, and that's a very scary thought. Um,
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. It's like we're gonna be seeing an energetic LeBron equal to probably Heat LeBron. We haven't probably seen that since he was on the Heat because he was younger back then, and it's like when he was with the Cavs, he was doing a lot of the heavy lifting, and he's been down. But it's like, oh shoot, LeBron's gonna get ready to go here. I'm excited.
and I know they said Rondo might be able to make it back. How big of a role has Rondo played for the Lakers this year? Excuse me.
Last year, I loved Rondo. I thought he was a solid piece, but this year he's been it's been tough.
Hmm.
It's not the Rondo that I was like, oh shoot. I
Has,
hope I don't
what
know. It's not prime Rondo. Let me just say that.
what's been his problem? It's been like poor shot selection, or he's just not distributing the ball the way that people thought he would, or
He wants to make all these great passes for freaking Sports Center, and
Mhm.
they're not getting to the person he intended to. I don't
Gotcha.
know. And he's never been the greatest shooter, but he's been disciplined enough to be like, I'm not the greatest shooter. I'm gonna take my 6 for 8 from the field night and deal with it. But he's been chucking up threes, and I'm like, did you forget your Rajon Rondo? What are you doing, man?
Yeah,
I
whenever
don't know.
Rondo chucked up a three as a Celtic, it didn't make
Didn't he
sense.
hit a Didn't he hit like a big three in Game 7
Dude,
of the finals?
I will never forget the Rajon Rondo game 7 in the 2010 finals against the Lakers. He
Uh-huh.
he got the rebound and he hit a turnaround jumper in the corner for a three, like late. I'm
Yep.
talking about like 3 minutes left in the fourth, or probably like 2 minutes
Hmm.
left, somewhere around there. And like that was it. And I think like they pulled within like three or something. And I think it was like 86 or 83, like 86 to 83 when he hit that shot. And it was just like, oh
Hmm.
man, like they might actually do this. Like Rondo just hit that shot, and then they just
And
couldn't
that was
guard.
a series where it was so hard to get a dang bucket to fall. That was
Yeah.
a defensive bloodbath, man.
Well, like, I think like the final score is like 89 to 86 or something like that.
Yeah, Game 7 was low scoring. I think that whole series was pretty low scoring.
The 2010 NBA Finals.
And the 2016 Game 7 actually reminded me a lot of that that series because just Game 7 because that was a low scoring game, especially for modern era NBA basketball.
Yeah. First game was 102 to 89. Second game was 103 to 94. Third game
Uh-huh.
was 91 to 84. Fourth game was 96 to 89. Game 5 was 92 to 86. Game 6 was 89 to 67, and 7 was 83 to 79. Like, dude, I don't
You
think,
never see that anymore.
especially in the finals, like it always
Yeah,
seems like finals games, like that is where defense, that's where when they say defense wins championships, that's what they mean. And
yeah.
but like when it's now coming down to this, like guys are just chucking up shots like we've never seen before.
And the game's so much faster now, and obviously the 3-point shot's more common. Even like you look back at the NBA in 2010, and it's like the 3-pointer was a thing,
Mhm.
but not even. I think that's what Steph Curry did to change the NBA to what it is today. I think.
Right, and I mean, you think about like the 2010 like Celtics and Lakers teams. Like, all right, let's think about their starting players. Yes, Kobe Bryant could knock down threes. Yes, Kobe Bryant was a good 3-point shooter, but like that wasn't his
Hmm.
main shot. Paul
Right.
Pierce, very good 3-point shooter, but he would always go for the mid-range shot. Kevin Garnett
Hmm.
was a mid-range only guy. Rajon Rondo was a
Hmm.
mid-range only guy. They had Ray Allen, who was a 3-point shooter. Paul Gasol was not never a three.
From time to time,
Right. Um, Ron Artest.
Bynum.
Ron Artest
Don't even think about it.
finally decided to make 3-pointers for some reason and just went off. Shut up.
Oh
I,
mama.
like
Oh mama.
Derek Fisher was a fine 3-point shooter, but he was more of a mid-range guy. The
Hmm.
mid. I mean, you know, analysts talk about it, it's like Steph Curry is just like, well, three is bigger than two, so why not?
Could you imagine how much damage Ray Allen could have done? Like if he was shooting as much as Steph Curry was in today's NBA. Like that dude would be one, like one of the best players in the game because he could drive to the hoop too in his prime.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, like dude was legitimately a good, very, very good finisher around the
Yeah.
rim. That was such an underrated aspect about Ray Allen. Um, uh, Besides him also being a snake, but that's a different time.
Oh, I don't get into that Celtics beef. Oh boy.
But yeah, no, dude, Ray Allen would be so good at like that's what you think about Michael Jordan is how would Michael Jordan be in today's game? Like, would his 3-point
Mhm.
shot be good enough to keep up with everybody else? And obviously,
I think
probably.
he'd put the work in. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
he'd put the work in to be equivalent to how Kobe was
right.
with his 3-point shooting.
Yeah, the answer is probably more leaning towards absolutely, but I mean, it's obvious that the mid-range shot is what separated Jordan from everybody was just how much he can make that shot. And
Mhm.
does Michael Jordan attempt, 10 to 12 mid-range shots a game anymore like in
Mhm.
this league? Who knows?
I think the shot from the logo is the equivalent of what a 3-point shot was in the 80s and 90s. Like people will shoot from near half court now, and that's about how often people shot 3-pointers in the 80s and 90s. Like you saw it, but it's like, whoa, he's actually going for it.
And usually, yeah, well, back in the 80s and 90s, you would have some short little white guy who was knocking down the threes like Steve Kerr.
Ah, yes, Steve Kerr, the
Um,
Last Dance star.
or Danny Ainge.
Ugh,
I don't like him
no,
either.
no.
Who,
Oh, because of
who,
the GM. Is that why you don't like him?
dude, I have such a love-hate relationship with Danny Ainge. It's like,
Dude, Ainge has made some moves, but then he's also done stuff where it's like, we're trying to win, right?
You mean like trading Kendrick Perkins? When
What'd you guys get for Kendrick Perkins?
I think Jeff Green, who was fine with the
Eh,
Celtics, but let's
he's
look.
a bench player. I mean, Kendrick Perkins is a big man you want to have in your lineup.
Yeah,
That's
but
going to
when they
get you
traded
good.
him, it was Kendrick Perkins prime. It just came out the
Mhm.
2010 season where playoffs where he was suspended for the finals because of so many flagrants, which was the
Yeah.
dumbest rule in the world. Was it flagrants or text? I feel like it was flagrants. Um,
That's why Draymond was out for what was it, game 5 or 6 in the finals against when they blew the 3-1 lead.
he was out because he tried to punch LeBron in the balls.
I thought he had too many flagrants. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I could be wrong.
I don't know.
Um, yeah, they traded for Jeff Green. They traded Kendrick Perkins and Nate Robinson for Jeff Green, Nenad Kirstic, and the Los Angeles Clippers first rounder in 2012. Now, who did they pick in 2012 with that pick? They picked.
Sullinger?
I feel like it was Sullinger's. That, that does feel like a
2012.
Sullinger pick.
Or was he 2011? I can't even remember.
I'm looking here.
Olynyk was 13. I don't even know.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was Fab Mello and Jared Sullinger. Jared
Fab Mello from
Sullinger.
Syracuse.
Jared Sullinger back to back. Boy, and, and like that was later in the draft. That was pick 21 and 22. But
At
I
least
just I
Sullinger made it on the floor. Did Fab Mello ever make it to the floor?
he played six. He played 6 games.
Oh, I feel like Fab Mello died.
He did. He got
We did. Oh,
seven
shoot.
points and he had 36 minutes in his career.
Hi, Fab Mello from the great beyond. Sorry for talking trash. But you never did anything in the NBA, my dude.
But like I just feel like Ainge has never been a great drafter, and then he turns around and drafts Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. But at the same time, like those guys are kind of handed to them because they had such high picks from those Nets picks. So like
Yeah.
I don't know. I
How
feel like
much credit can you give them for that? When the Nets, I wonder how that deal happened. Did the Nets offer that, and then Danny Ainge was like, "Yeah, yeah."
you have any more first rounders you want to give me? Like, yeah, here's another one. I was like, do you want Jason Terry? With it? He's like, oh, here's another first round pick too. I was like, oh, okay. I,
I mean, Rozier was a solid pick in 2015, something
mhm.
like that. He
But
was he was a late round pick, right?
yeah, I think Terry was in the second round. Um, but
I'm trying to think of other Celtics. I
and
thought
like,
Demetrius Jackson was a good pick, but I don't think he's been on the floor very often.
dude, I thought James Young was gonna be a baller, and just nothing ever
Oh
happened
God,
from him.
that dude from Kentucky.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Rozier was picked pick 16, but I mean,
No,
like
that's not bad. That's still a solid pick.
the trade for Tatum's pick, which was the third, and the 76ers traded up for
Fultz.
Markelle Fultz. Like that's a great trade. I don't know. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like Danny Ainge always gets the best out of trades, besides the Kendrick Perkins trade. But when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
drafting good players, that's not just absolutely given to you, like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. That's
Mm-hmm.
where he struggles poorly, and it refuses to go and get the big guys like Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, you got Kyrie. What'd you get? What did you give up for the Kyrie trade? You gave up
They gave up
it.
they gave up pick 8 of the next year's draft. Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder,
Oh God, Jay Crowder. Yeah,
and I
that's a name.
think that was it. Oh, and
Zizic. Did you give up
yes, Zizic.
that guy?
But yeah, and that's still a trade that I think the Cavs won, even though every single Cavs. Would you rather have uh, a young Colin Sexton on your team right now, or no Kyrie Irving whatsoever?
Well, that's true. And Kyrie's not the most accommodating fella. Let me
Mm-mm.
just say. He said he wanted to spend his entire career with the Cavs. That was a lie. And then he said he wanted to see his jersey hung up in the Celtics rafters. Our polygraph test also found that was a lie. And he's probably going to leave the Nets after Kevin Durant isn't the Kevin Durant that he used to be from after his Achilles injury.
Do you think you don't? Do you not think that Kevin Durant's going to return to form? I mean, like he's what,
He's not going to be the
32?
same. He's not going to be the same. I think he can still be a 20, 25 points per game a guy. He's not going to be anywhere close to scoring leader though.
He's going to be 32 next
I
season.
don't think it's a tough injury.
That is a
It's
tough injury
tough
at 32.
injury.
I think he could still return to top.
Kobe had it when he was like 30. Kobe was 33, 34 when he had it. I don't know. It's tough. I think Kevin Durant could still bounce back though.
I think he could return back to the top 5. I don't know if he could be the best player in the league at stretches like he was, but that is a
I don't
tough
know.
injury.
Him not even like considering coming back this season. Like I like that approach because it's like
Why would
I
you?
wouldn't want to even not. Yeah, it's. I don't think you're gonna even with KD back. I don't think the Nets will go anywhere this year.
All right.
Because Kyrie's not there for some reason.
That's actually might be better now. Who else do we got here?
Yeah.
Willie Cauley-Stein, not showing up for the Mavericks, but they used that to sign Trey Burke, which I guess is fine.
Wow.
Wilson Chandler's sitting. DeMarcus Cousins is refusing to sign with
Wilson
anybody.
Chandler, holy frick. Wilson Chandler's still in the league somehow.
Spencer Dinwiddie, Mr. National Debt himself. DeAndre Jordan is sitting. Well, like half the Nets team is sitting. Holy cow.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're in trouble.
Victor Oladipo is sitting, which I know we're talking about. That's a huge blow for the Pacers, but they may not need him. And then Thabo Cephalosha is sitting for the Rockets.
Oh, he is so bad. Even when he was on the Thunder, I'm like, get this dude off the court. Give me James Harden's facial hair over this guy.
Dude, you can give the Rockets a 15-point lead at halftime in a Game 7, and I am not going to pick them to win. Like, I have zero faith in that team whatsoever now.
What, like now?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just, yeah. They're a hot and they're a hot or not team, it seems like.
All right, let's move into some NFL talk here. We'll go first. Let's go with Chris Jones' contract. How do you think the Kansas City Chiefs have that much money?
They're not paying Mahomes until what, like 4 years down the road?
What?
It seems like.
Wait, you're telling me that big contract doesn't take effect the second he signs it, Matt?
I'm telling you that, man.
Whoa. That's like it's an extension to the contract and not like a new contract or something.
No, he's still on his rookie contract from 2017, but I'm saying like he's only taking from the extension is what I'm saying here, fella. Don't try and belittle me.
You mean that's how an extension works? And literally every single person who asks that question just does not realize how an extension works whatsoever.
It ticks me off when people are like, how are they just like, being Elon Musk and pulling money out of the sky, man? It's like, it's not all right. I'm not giving Mahomes $18 million this second.
18.
Is that even?
Hold on, I gotta carry a one somewhere. I think 18 million.
Did you find the radius?
Now is that $18 million 1,000 times over, or is that $18 million $1,000?
I'll be honest. I already forgot how I said it because I was so ticked off. So, however you think, that's right.
But yeah, I mean, they signed him to a 4-year, $85 million contract. That's a lot, but
It ticks me off because we got to sign Kenny Clark next offseason, and I don't think we're gonna do it now.
They got it in the Brown. Well, I won't talk about Ogunjobi because I think he's just on a tier below or two. But okay, so that's what I don't understand. I think that whole thing is a myth of the price point that athletes set for position. I think that whole thing is a myth. I still think a huge part of a player's contract mostly goes to production, or mostly like relies on production wise instead of like what the guy before him got, besides Dak Prescott, obviously. But I think
I
that
think
whole
it's
thing's a
like a
myth.
tier based thing. If you feel like you're on like the same elite level as that player, you're gonna try your hardest to get the same amount of money as that dude.
Sure, but like when Christian McCaffrey's contract got this, like, oh my God, every single running back is going to ask for this much money. And I was like, no, none of them are going to get it because none of them are as versatile as Christian McCaffrey.
Right. Hmm.
But I don't. Like, I mean, Chris Jones is probably
He's good.
second best D
He's.
tackle in the league, and I mean
Hmm.
he's right behind Aaron Donald, who's always had a lot of help on his line. So I I don't know. He's like the one anchor for that Chiefs defense. I feel like.
I mean, I look at this Chiefs team and I see a window of like 5 or 6 years where it's like I could see them winning the Super Bowl every year. It seems like they're the new Patriots at this point. It seems like an overreaction, but they have so much talent that's like committed to being there. And it's like that same kind of thing where Patriots players always want to be there. But I don't know. I feel like once the Mahomes contract starts kicking in, you're going to kind of see like the Packers when they started all of Aaron Rodgers' weapons started dwindling away. The defense was taking a back seat because we kept trying to feed Aaron Rodgers. That's what it seems like for me for Patrick Mahomes. Once he starts getting like a lot of his money starts kicking in.
As long as Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid are a duo, I they will be. I'm not gonna say they're the next Bill Brady and Bill Belichick, or Bill
Hmm.
Brady, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick.
Yeah. Mhm.
You got it. You understood what I
Yeah,
was mean. I'm
I
not gonna say
understood.
they're the next one, but I'm going to hold them to the same standard that I held those two to. Is as long as those two are
Mhm.
together, they will always be in contention for a Super Bowl.
Yeah. I see a lot of Brett Favre in Mahomes because he's pretty reckless with the ball. He's got a cannon of an arm, and he's freaking talented. So, like, you saw Favre in the late '90s. He had that window of like being the best quarterback in the NFL and always being the top contender. So I'm interested to see how Mahomes' game evolves once some of his speed and athleticism starts to not go away, but like be less effective.
I I don't see Favre in Mahomes. I see a lot of Rodgers in Mahomes. I th-
Rodgers.
I see Rodgers in Mahomes with Favre's arm.
Hmm.
Which who do you think has a better arm, Favre or Rodgers?
The better arm is Aaron Rodgers. The stronger arm is Favre.
Stronger arm. That's what I mean. Right.
Yeah.
You know, I see a lot of more Rodgers in Mahomes than I do Favre.
I see a lot of yeah, he's a very accurate quarterback, but Favre was also very accurate. And Mahomes is also very reckless with the ball. And I had a flashback of when Favre did that pass where he was rolling to his right, and he's like, "Oh, it's only the NFC Championship game where we're 5 yards away from kicking a field goal. Let's throw across my body." I've seen Mahomes do that a lot,
Yeah.
and sometimes it works, and sometimes it blows up in his face. So I don't know. We'll see how disciplined he gets later in his career.
That's a scary thought as if he gets disciplined. I don't know though, cuz like I think that's a little like that's the mystique to Patrick
Yeah,
Mahomes is he has that gunslinger and unpredictability where he's able to make those plays. So like you
that's why
always
Favre was so loved when he was in his prime, and even when he wasn't in his prime anymore, he was still doing that stupid junk to give me a freaking heart attack.
and like that's what I still want out of like Baker is I was
Hmm.
talking on Twitter and people are like, well, if Baker throws like 30 touchdowns and like 15 interceptions this year, like or like 10 interceptions this year, like that's a great year. I was like, dude, if like Baker throws like 28 and like 13, 28 and 14, I would be ecstatic. Like I have zero problem with gunslinging when it comes to my quarterback. I want those guys to make those those
You need
aggressive
to be
throws.
confident in yourself, or else you're gonna miss a lot of opportunities because you're gonna keep second guessing yourself. Like, oh frick, this could be a turnover. It's like, no, be confident in your freaking ability, man.
I've watched too many Cody Kesslers. I've watched just too many guys just throw 5 yards and
Colt McCoy, oh my
oh
god.
my God, I've watched too many of that. Like that's why I love Baker, man. He's got the accuracy to do it. He just needs to improve his form and all of that. But
Get a stable freaking offense that stays the same for more than a year.
okay, I want to talk about the Browns offense really quickly. I wasn't planning on it, but
Let's go. Let's freaking do it.
I've listened to sports talk radio basically every day for
Oh
the
boy,
past few years,
that's
more
healthy.
more than a few years, and they always talk. And lately, they've talked about touches for each player, and that has just annoyed me more and more every single
Mhm.
time I listen to it, because it's like, or like guys are talking about like, well, we need to get Nick Chubb 20 touches a game, and then we need to get Landry and Odell their touches, and we need to get Kareem Hunt their touches, and how are we going to get these guys their touches? And like, and that is the worst philosophy to have. I feel like
Mhm.
so the Browns have always been horrible. I feel like if the Browns ever implemented that strategy into their game plans, they would be even worse. Like,
Yeah, you're giving the defenses a dang checklist. Like, okay, so we can expect another 7 carries for Chubb at least in this quarter. So we'll
right.
just we'll get our freaking run defense out there. It's like freaking every game is different. Every situation, every quarter, every drive is different. You freaking play for what the defense is giving you, man. It ticks me
Yeah,
off.
ideally with Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr., that opens up the middle for guys like Austin Hooper, David Njoku
Hmm.
or Rashard Higgins to be there to find
Hmm.
those passes. However, sometimes Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry are going to be open, but you can't force the ball to them. And
Right.
ideally, all of those four or five receivers that I just listed, they can stretch out the
Hmm.
field much more for your check down passes to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt to be there. That's
Hmm.
fine to have a game plan like that, but to purposely make a game plan based around players for getting Odell Beckham like what 12 catches a game, like come on, that's that's how you lose
You're
games.
obviously yeah, you're obviously gonna have plays designed to where it's like, all right, this play's like designed for like my first read is Odell, and
Hmm.
obviously every freaking offense has that stuff. But like, if he's not freaking open, don't force it just because you don't want to hurt any Browns fans' feelings that don't feel Odell gets enough touches. Freaking make the right play.
Which
Like
I don't think he complains about anyways. I feel
I
like
think he complains, but nowhere near to the extent. I think he's like, ugh, man, I wish I would have got more catches that game because you're a competitor of the highest level. Obviously, you want to make an impact on your team, but it's like everyone's acting like he's gonna demand a trade if he doesn't get freaking 200 targets a year.
yeah, I feel like Odell would be very happy if the Browns went 16-0 and every single game he got two catches for 56 yards. Like I don't think we would
Yeah,
hear much complaining about it over the Browns losing 10 games a year and having four catches for 120 or something like that.
and I think a lot of the times that anger is half on maybe the play caller or the quarterback, but a lot of that anger's on themselves for not putting themselves in situations to where the ball's getting thrown to them. So
Sure.
a lot of that anger goes to them because they're not the ones getting open.
Hmm. Yeah, that we talk like that just makes me so livid. All right. Speaking about the Browns, Myles Garrett contract. What do you think about that? Because I've had some conflicting opinions from different people that I've talked to.
What are the conflicting opinions that he struck a man with the helmet and that's the reason they're paying him? Is that the other side of this dude's one of the best pass rushers in the game? Yeah, let's lock him up, guys. Like I don't see the big controversy here.
I don't see it either. All right. So he signed. Let me find the full contract here. I think it's for 125 for 5 years. Does that sound right?
That sounds familiar. Sure, let's go with that.
Yeah, 125 for 5 years, and
If
um,
it's not right, then sorry, Browns. That's what you're gonna have to pay him now.
one, I'm personally very happy about it. But Myles Garrett
Mm-hmm.
is without a doubt the best player that I've seen play in a Browns uniform besides Joe Thomas. And I don't
Since
think
Brandon Whedon, yeah,
I don't
sure.
think that's a
What were you
crazy
saying?
the,
Yeah,
the
continue.
best since Joe Thomas, not Brandon Whedon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And I think Odell's probably a distant third, maybe.
Hmm. Chris Obanayas might be up there.
Ooh, Montario Hardesty is up there.
Oh God. Oh God.
Dude, Spins McGee was my guy. Um,
No. No.
what about Ruben Drones?
Oh yeah, my bad. That's number one.
Right.
Yeah, Nick rocks Joe Thomas.
Um, yeah, so I'm very happy about it. He is just an athletic freak. The way he is able to just take over and just his the way he can collapse a pocket in 2 seconds and does it every
Hmm.
drive, if not every other play, is just an absurd skill set that most DNs don't have. You know, some DNs are able to just get around the edges and everything to make those sacks. Miles Garrett
Hmm.
affects the pocket every single pass play, and
His speed is freaking that a guy with that size with that much muscle and he has that athleticism and speed. It's scary and it's like
it,
you look back at when they drafted 2017,
yeah,
like looking back now, it's like, oh yeah, this was definitely a freaking no doubt about it. Even though you could have got Mahomes or Watson or whatever, it's like you still got the number that potentially one of the top 5 defensive players in the NFL.
yeah, and his run game defense is very criminally underrated. I see that guy
Mm-hmm.
like making tackles for losses in the run game a lot more than what people give respect to. But so and I was talking to one of my buddies. I'll give him a shout out to Adam. That
Yeah, Adam.
he is one of my one of the out of all my friends probably one of the smartest sports minds that I know. But he's a
Ooh.
god awful Steelers fan, so I have to talk slow to him. Um, and and he was talking.
Wow.
He was talking. He's like he has some reservations. One, there's some injury concern, which I do understand, even though
Yeah.
Garrett's been mainly healthy these past 2 years. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but and he was talking. He's like, I don't want to. I want to see a guy play maybe 2 full seasons before he gets over $100 million in a contract. That part I can understand. Obviously, Garrett had that injury issue his first year, and then these on the field altercations have gotten him
Mm-hmm.
kicked off this past year. That part I can understand. And I try to make the claim like I feel that that's out of character for Miles Garrett, and I feel like
Yeah.
people don't understand that unless they're Clevelanders because we see Miles Garrett a lot, and we
Right.
think it is out of character because it is out of character. Like that is something that
We
would
haven't
never.
seen anything like that before.
Right, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's out of character for every single guy in the league until it happens.
Yeah.
And and he brought up the him punching the Titans player, which I think that was so overblown. I feel like there's hand slaps and
That's
face shoves.
that happens anytime.
That happens every
That
game.
happens every game.
That happens
Yeah.
more than what I think we see.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody always talks about the late hits on what's his name from the Jets.
Trevor Simeon.
Dude, I've watched both of those late hits that people try to claim about. Those are
How is it intentional? There's zero ill intent on the Trevor Simeon injury. I look at that, I'm like, that's just unfortunate, you know?
yeah, and you look at it and you can make a claim that him dragging the guys to the ground could potentially be the injury issue, and that's what did happen to Trevor Simeon. But at the same time, I feel like that's safer for both players to just take him to the ground softly, and
Mhm.
ideally neither of them gets injured than him just kind of like stopping, and then the guy can pull something or something along those lines. And unfortunately, it
Mhm.
happened with Simeon. But you look at those late hits, and Simeon's arm is still going forward when Garrett is wrapping him up. Like the people who are claiming late
Yeah.
hits are just so stupid. And the late
It's
hit,
a violent game.
it is a
It'll
violent game.
happen from time to time.
And I
I
mean,
don't get it.
the late hits in the league are so unpredictable, anyways, that when it's called a late
Mhm.
hit, it's not the late hit that you and I grew up watching. The late hit
Yeah.
you and I grew up watching was the defender was still able to take 2 steps and spear the quarterback into the ground.
Yeah.
But no, I love the Garrett contract. I can understand why people are hesitant about it, but I
All right. So the one point your friend made was what he wants to see him play more than 2 years in the league. Is that what he said?
2 full seasons without being taken off the field in some sort of capacity.
Okay. So Mahomes played how many seasons and got paid? He played one game his rookie year, and then he played a full season, and then he missed a couple games in the Super Bowl year. So should we not pay Mahomes?
That's a fair take.
Boom.
I don't know.
Adam, I just freaking roasted you.
And I don't know. I feel like maybe that's a little bit different with Mahomes since he never had like the on-field
Dude,
altercations.
just let me freaking have this, okay?
Yes, that's right. Screw you, Adam, and your Steelers.
Super Bowl, baby.
Have fun with 38-year-old homeless man as your quarterback.
Yeah, I'm freaking terrified with no Antonio Brown or prime Mike Wallace. I mean, you got Juju, but
Juju really
uh,
played bad last year, and I understand, that was a little bit on their.
and you have no running game. James Conner is fine, but you need
Is he
someone else,
fine?
dude.
He had like eight
He's
good
okay.
games. He had like 8 good games in his entire career.
He's all right, but you'd like someone else to be in the running game.
They have Benny Snell out of Kentucky, but I don't feel like he's ever going to amount to a RB1. Um,
Benny Snell. I can't even pretend to be terrified of that name.
he was pretty good in Kentucky. But yeah, no, I uh, I like the Garrett contract. I think he's going to be great. The injuries are more concerning to me than the on the field altercations.
When you're playing football, every player has the potential of being any contract can suck because of a freak accident or injury. Like it's gonna freaking happen with people.
Hmm.
It's football.
I do know though he's had some not pre-existing. I don't know what the word is, but you know,
He has an injury history, I
reoccurring
guess.
issues with I think his
Mm.
ankles. But I'm still not too worried about it. All right, Matt. Let's talk about these wide receivers. That's the
There we
position.
go.
All right, you talked to me about making the top 10 wide receivers in the league, and I have my list that I submitted about a month ago to you.
Noise. All right. It's just, dude, wide receivers are just such a fun thing to rank
They really are because
because there's so many good ones.
that's the problem. I feel like
Like I have,
running backs are starting to get that way too.
yeah. There's like a few like elite ones like Christian McCaffrey. Freaking. There's someone else. Zeke. You got your elite ones, and then there's like this tier of like, yeah, solid starter. I listed 21 on accident, but yeah, I got 10. I got 10 receivers.
All right. How do we want to do this? We want to count down or we want to count up? Because I feel like 1, 2, and 3 are obvious in some
Yeah,
sort of
let's
way.
just do that.
All right. So number 1 for me is Julio Jones still.
All right.
I think Michael Thomas had the better year, but I still think Julio Jones is the best wide receiver. It's not even close.
I got DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay. I feel like when we did our top 5 receivers or top 10 receivers
Mm-hmm.
last year, and I feel like DeAndre Hopkins or Julio Jones were our 1 and 2s, and we both agreed on them. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but any of those 3 guys in the top 3 are fine with
Yeah,
me. Yeah, number 2 for me is Michael Thomas,
I had Julio Jones 2, and then I had Thomas 3,
and
and
then
it's pretty much interchangeable between those three.
right, and I had Hopkins 3. Now number 4 through 10 is always my favorite one because people are always you
It's
know
it yeah, it's different.
there's so many guys that you can leave in and out. So number 4 for me is Mike Evans. I feel like this is just a clear cut one. He made Jameis Winston into a no. I'm gonna stick with it. Jameis Winston's a good quarterback. I'm not afraid.
All right, all right.
Um, but no, I think Michael Evans is such a talented wide receiver. That's so underrated just because of the top 3.
Mm-hmm. I got Devonte Adams because I'm biased as frick.
Sure. Um,
I think injuries is a big thing for Devonte because it seems like every year he's missed a couple of games, but that dude's last few years has just carried the load since Jordy Nelson's kind of stepped away.
and a bad quarterback. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Um,
What are you talking about? We got Jordan Love. What the fuck?
all right. Number 5 for me, I said was Kenny Golladay, and I feel like
Whoa!
I've tried to
Oh my
convince myself
God.
that Kenny Golladay is a top 5 wide receiver, and I don't know if I'm there yet again, or I just might move him down, and I might move
Yeah,
him
move
down
him
to
down.
11 and bring Tyler Lockett back in the top 10. But
How you just gonna have him at 5 and then be like, you know what? Now that I think about it, he's probably
because
not
like
even top
because
50.
for like me, 5 through I'm gonna say 14 is very interchangeable. Like my 14 is Amari Cooper. I'll just go through my 11 through 14 really quickly. Tyler Lockett, Stephon Diggs, T.Y. Hilton, and Amari Cooper. You can make a very good argument that any of those 4 guys are just as good as Kenny Golladay.
I got my 11 through, let's go 15. It's Amari Cooper, Jarvis Landry, Stephon Diggs, Devontae Parker, DJ Moore. And it's like, yeah, once you get to the bottom of the top 10, and then all the way up to like 20,
Yeah.
all these guys are just like, they're freaking solid.
Yeah, from like 17 to 20 is like the only. I have DJ Moore as my 19. Let's just go through our full 20. Let's just unless you don't
Let's
want to.
just jump into it,
Unless you
man.
don't want to,
All
just
right, you
for
go first, and then I'll go.
do you want to for your video, or you want to just do it?
Nah, just let's just do it, man. Let's
All
just
right.
do it.
All right, yeah. So number 5, I have Kenny Golladay, even though I still might move that around a little bit. Number 6, I have
Hmm.
Devontae Adams. Again, I don't think there's
Yeah,
much.
he is. There he is.
Number 7 is Odell.
Okay.
Number 8 is Tyreek Hill. I feel like he always gets left out of the top 5 wide receiver conversation, and I don't know
Hmm.
why. Because he's almost
Man's a
unguardable.
lot of attention.
He's almost
Yeah.
unguardable.
You know when you're playing the Chiefs, it's like, all right, what are we gonna do about Tyreek Hill this week?
I have Chris Godwin at number 9, and I don't know if he
Hmm.
benefited off of just playing across from Mike Evans or he's just that good. I feel like it definitely leans towards he's just that good. That man is stupid
Obviously, you're
good.
gonna benefit with Mike Evans, but you still got to be talented to put up the numbers he put up.
Number 10 is Keenan Allen. I feel like he's always been a very underrated wide receiver. Didn't have the best year,
Hmm.
but you can blame that more on Philip Rivers' dead arm than you can on
Yeah.
Keenan Allen himself. Number 11 is Tyler Lockett. That man just made massive strides. He's another underrated wide receiver in the league. I feel like Stephon Diggs gets a lot of love, and I don't see it, but he's my number 12. He's a
He's
good
good.
wide receiver, but he's never blown me away as as a top 10 guy. Um, I have
Hmm.
T.Y. Hilton as 13. T.Y.'s always been underrated.
Yeah.
He's never got the appreciation besides maybe for like a year or two. Number 14 is Amari
Hmm.
Cooper. He's a guy that I've never been blown away by, but I feel like he's just too good to not be in this list.
Hmm.
Cortland Sutton is an absolute dog.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see how he is in the next few years. I think that guy's going to play great as long as
Hmm.
what's his name, Drew Lock can progress with him and be a good
Hmm.
quarterback for him to throw to. Number 16 is Jarvis Landry. Feel like I might want to put him above Amari Cooper and Cortland Sutton. Dude, I might I
It's
like I
consistent.
this is one of those things where like I feel like I could put him before Stephon Diggs and I'd be happy with it. Um,
Yeah.
17 is Cooper Cup. I feel like he's really fallen off for
Mhm.
me. I don't know. I know he's had injury issues, right?
Yeah. He had an ACL, I think.
hmm So I don't know. I gave him the benefit of the doubt just because of the production he's put up. 18 is Allen Robinson. He's been so steadily, consistently good these past few years that
Hmm.
people kind of overlook him. But I don't think he's good enough to be a top 15 wide receiver yet. Um,
Hmm.
maybe with Nick Foles throwing the ball now. Who knows?
Dear God, man.
19 is DJ Moore. I need to see one more good year out of DJ Moore before
Right.
I rank him in the top 15. Even though
Hmm.
I think talent wise he's there. And then 20 is
Hmm.
Terry McLaurin.
Nice.
He was so good last year as a rookie.
All right, you ready for this,
Oh, and I will say Adam Thielen is my first one off the list. I've never been impressed by Adam Thielen in my life.
dude? He might. Maybe it's just the Packers fan in me, but this dude disappears in the second half of every season. But thanks for trying, Adam.
He's
All
helped
right,
me
here
with a
we
few
go.
fantasy teams before. I can't dog him for that.
Oh yeah, dude's a fantasy monster. Oh frick, I lost my list. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, number 5 for me is Mike Evans. Um, dude, I think every year since he's been in the league, he's had 1,000 yards. So it's kind of hard to not say he's a top 5 receiver,
He's been a
especially.
receiving yard leader like I think multiple times too.
And he carried Johnny Manziel to a Heisman Trophy and a first round selection.
hmm
Like, when are people going to give this man some respect? 6, I got Keenan Allen. He's one of the best route runners in the game. Uh, if you throw a ball his way, he's probably going to catch it. 7, I got Tyreek Hill just because like he's freaking insane. He's a freaking freak. 8, I got Odell. Didn't have the best season, but obviously it's his first year with the Browns. I think he's gonna have a lot better season next year. 9, I got Godwin just because he's been putting up insane numbers. Like he had a solid 2018 season, and then last year was just freaking. I think he led the league in yards or something. He led something. I think it was touchdowns. 10, I got Allen Robinson because that dude caught the things Mitchell Trubisky was throwing his way. I don't know how he freaking did it. He was third in the league in targets last year, so that's freaking. This dude carried the Bears. Who do I got next? 11's Amari Cooper. I had him at 8 at one point. That's how hard it is to rank these dudes. 12, I got Landry. 13, I got Diggs. The only thing I could say about Diggs is his route running's insane, but I don't know. He's got some issues. 14, I got Devontae Parker. I think he's going to have a huge year if the Dolphins ever find their quarterback.
Devontae Parker, that's a good one.
Yeah, he didn't. I looked at his catching percentage, but then I looked at his quarterbacks, and I'm like, okay, I understand, dude.
Right.
Um, 15, I have DJ Moore, just probably because he helped me out in fantasy last year. 16 is Cooper Cup because he always decided to have the biggest games of his career against me in fantasy. I had Kenny Golladay 17th. There he is. Um, I don't know. Who else do the Lions used to have? Golden
Marvin
Tate.
Jones.
Marvin Jones is a thing. I don't know, but Galladay's good. He's probably going to move up this list in the coming years. I got Cortland Sutton 18. Edelman, I have 19, just because. Does he benefit from the Brady Patriots offense?
He benefits from
But
the offense. He doesn't benefit from Brady. Well, he benefits because he's the only safety blanket Brady has besides James White in the backfield.
yeah, because Edelman seems like the kind of guy that's like, all right, I'm going to run this freaking slant, take the hit. I have Lockett 20th, and then I had McLaurin tied for 20th because the dude is going to be a beast next year, and I'm calling it. And then honorable mentions, I had AJ Green because I don't know if he's ever going to play for the Bengals again,
That's the big thing.
and T.Y. Hilton I just left off.
Okay.
Mostly because I forgot about him, I'll be honest. He probably would be in here somewhere if I didn't be like, oh, frick, he's a thing.
I will say,
So, yeah.
I feel like Christian Kirk enters this list next year as well.
I thought I was going to say that last year, but I mean, Kyler was, I don't know. We'll see. But now that DeAndre Hopkins is a thing, I'm sure he's going to get a lot more open with DeAndre lining up. And you still got Fitz. He's still hanging out there
Yeah,
still.
that's the thing with Kirk is he's more of a slot wide receiver, but you got Fitz in your
Mm-hmm.
slot, so it's kind of hard for him to be an outside guy. But I don't know. I think Kirk makes a big stride this year. I feel like
I
Cooper
hope.
Cup leaves the list for me this year, and maybe I don't know. Maybe Amari. Like there's a really good chance like Amari just doesn't have a good year.
I don't know. I mean, the Cowboys got so many weapons. You got Gallup and CeeDee Lamb now.
Michael Gallup's a good one too. Like Michael Gallup is
Yeah.
really underlooked this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know. I see Cooper Cup leaving my list too.
There's a
I
guy
think
like
probably Edelman too because he's getting up there in age too, and now he's not going to have just
Jarvis. I could
learn with
see leaving
Cam.
this list just because of ideally the production the Browns have. It doesn't directly translate to translates to less touches and stuff like that for Jarvis. But I don't know.
Baker and Jarvis have had like a good connection together
Hmm.
since it's been Baker. So I don't know. I think Jarvis is just he's like Mike Evans consistency. He's like on the same level when it comes to consistency. It's just the teams he's been on didn't have the highest a more high powered offense
Right.
than what a Jameis Winston led offense has.
All right, Matt. Let's quickly finish this up with some MLB talk.
Oh boy,
It's so nice to see live baseball again. I
it
had the
is.
game on yesterday, and man, it was just so nice to listen to it all. I hate the pumped-in crowd music. Or the crowd noise.
That's stupid.
I don't understand. I'd rather hear the sound of the ball in the bat and the
Yeah,
ball hitting the mitt 10 times more than I would hear the
I
crowd
think
noise.
I think baseball is like the sport that needs crowd noise the least.
Hmm.
Compared to the big three sports in America, I think baseball is the least affected by crowds.
Yeah, and I want to say when when the Baltimore like protests and riots were going on a few years ago, I think it's like 2016, somewhere around there. The Orioles
Mm-hmm.
had to play a game against I forget who, but they weren't allowed to have a crowd just because of everything that was going around outside the stadium and in the
Right.
city and everything. And they didn't pump in any crowd noise or anything, but you could just hear the ball explode off the bat. Like one of my favorite clips from there is the Orioles broadcaster announcing a Adam Jones double, but you could hear the sound of the bat just cracking. You could hear the guys in
Mm-hmm.
the dugout cheering, like stuff like that. I think is really cool. And if we're not gonna have fans, might as well. Like might as well hear something that we don't really hear. Like UFC, we're hearing
Mm-hmm.
guys the viciousness that you hear of a guy's face connecting with a glove or with a knee is just something that you wouldn't really expect, but you
Mm-hmm.
hear it and it's just like, how are these guys surviving?
Yeah, it's like because you're so used to like I guess growing up with like movies like Rocky, you hear those like punching sound effects, and you're like, oh, that's so over exaggerated. And then you hear, I've heard the sound in actual boxing, and then I've watched a little bit of UFC just because nothing is freaking on, and I'm not
Sure.
a big UFC guy, but I hear it, and I hear the sound of a man's foot going into someone's head, and I'm like, holy cow, that's more chilling than the fake movie sound effects.
Y-
It's just like,
Nothing,
ah,
nothing should be allowed to make that noise when it's hitting you like that.
no.
Like,
It's like you're dead, right? Is that how this works? You're dead now.
no, yeah, but I like no crowd noises. Like I'm interested to see how it is for
Mhm.
NBA and NFL. I don't know if they're gonna do NBA because there seems to just be way too much trash talk for that to ever be aired on live TV.
There's
Um,
the guy that censors is gonna be losing his freaking mind.
oh, dude, could you imagine that happening with Kevin Garnett still on the, still playing?
Oh my god. Yeah, he's gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna need at least a 3 minute long delay before I can this can air. Because usually it's like what, 10 to 30 seconds.
Right. Dude,
There's gonna be so much
I
bleeping.
feel like the Area 21 producers are still like they have that hand the hand on that button for whenever KG's just doing his own show there. I couldn't imagine.
NBA games are just gonna be silent because it's gonna be constant swearing. It's like, all right, now it's just make up your own sounds, dude.
Um all right, but back to MLB. I know I talked about wanting like a longer season, but I think this being interesting that it's a 60 game stretch. It's 2 months of baseball, a little bit more than 2 months of baseball.
Hmm.
When you look at schedules and everything.
Hmm.
And it's what starting June 27th, every single person is going to be tied going in, for that race to October, and it's such a cool thought to think about that. Like I I wasn't going to be as hyped for baseball this year as I've been previous years, just because the Indians have really taken me out of it, just with how mediocre they seem to be. But
Hmm.
I'm invested in the Indians again with some of the moves that they've made that I've taken a step back from and looked at it, and I'm invested in
Like
baseball
what?
this year. Um, I feel like the Cesar Hernandez acquisition is incredibly underrated. Um,
Yeah, I like that deal. When we first got him, I'm like, okay, that's actually a solid little piece. And you start, I remember you were like, oh dear God, Cesar Hernandez.
Well,
But
like,
I
I
thought,
wasn't like,
I
dear
think he's
God. I was just, I think I said I was whelmed by this signing.
I was whelmed.
Like looking at, as much as I love Jason Kipnis, he has not been a very
Right.
productive guy, and I feel like Cesar Hernandez's production that he can put in, the 2 hole
Hmm.
or the 6 hole, wherever they bat him would be awesome. It
Right.
seems like Frank Cohn has finally got his head out of his butt and not batting Lindor lead off. Ideally, he bats Carlos Santana lead off, but I don't think that's ever going to happen again. As much as I want it
I
to.
want. I posted a thing of what I wanted the Indians lineup to be, and I think I had Mercado batting leadoff. But I think Mercado's going to have a really good year this year. But maybe I'm just stupid. But I think I like Mercado batting leadoff.
I don't. Mercado strikes out too much for me to like him at leadoff. Ideally,
Hmm.
I'm making this lineup right on the spot. Ideally, it's like Santana one for me,
Oh mama, all
um,
the walks.
Jose two, Lindor
Mm.
three, four would be
Friend Mill, maybe.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like I want a little bit of a better, like a more consistent slugger, but I don't think the Indians have one. Um,
You already used all those guys, guy.
yeah, I guess it would be Franmil Reyes or Domingo Santana, whoever they
Oh yeah,
use.
he's a thing.
I'm really excited about Domingo Santana. I really hope he turns it around. I've always been very high on Domingo Santana. Um, five, I would want somebody.
Dude, why is Bradley Zimmer killing it so far?
I- He he has been a guy that I have.
He was dead to me like 2 months ago.
Yeah,
Forgot he existed.
I wasn't exactly sure if I actually watched him play or is like a figment of my imagination. But hey, him switching his batting stance, which I think is like his 20th time switch
Hmm.
his batting stance since he's got drafted, just because of how awkward his body is. Hey, if this is the time that works, let's do it because he's always been a key piece of the Indians' future, and if they can
Uh-huh.
add that into him, hey, that'd be great. Um, but no, I'm excited. I feel like the rotation's gonna take a little bit of a hit this year. I feel like Carrasco's gonna regress a little bit.
Uh-huh.
I don't expect a year out of Savali or Bieber like they had last year. Bieber's gonna regress.
I've been on the trade Bieber train for a while now. I'll be
Really,
honest. I think he's still a solid starting pitcher, but I think you can get a lot of value out of him right now.
I'm at the point where if they trade Lindor, I'm fine with them trading every single player on that team besides Carlos Santana. Like
Hey, all I need is my walks, baby. That's all I freaking need.
if you're gonna trade Lindor, you might as well just commit to rebuilding and trade. Uh, the haul that they can get for trading guys like Mike Clevenger and Shane
Oh,
Bieber and Jose
dude, I love
Ramirez,
Clevenger though.
dude, I couldn't imagine like the rebuild of that prospect farm system would set the Indians up for 10 years if they traded all the guys at once. And Brad Hand, yeah, I,
Oh man.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, he's still our closer. Wow, that's fun.
Mm, but no, I feel like the 60 game dash is gonna go well. I feel bad for a few teams like the Rays. I've been very high on the Rays this
Hmm.
offseason. I think I, they were my AL East prediction this year. I thought the Rays were gonna sneak by the Yankees and Red Sox in late August, early September, and just go on a stupid run. But that's not going to be
Hmm.
able for them to happen now. So if a team like the Rays starts off a little slow, they might not be able to get into that position.
Yeah,
Trying to think who else. Maybe like a team like the Braves. Except the Braves got a lot of offensive production, and I feel like offense is going to lead the way this season. I feel like
they
pitchers are.
have like 3 starting outfield for no reason. They have so many freaking outfielders.
Yeah, I feel like pitching is going to take a little bit of a hit this year more than what people are going to realize. People are saying the batters are going to be the one entering slumps. I don't think
Hmm.
so. I feel like pitching is going to be a lot harder to get used to for some of these guys, and
Yeah.
I feel like offense is going to lead the way, and that's why I'm high on a team like the Indians, which I can't believe I'm saying this. I actually like their offense.
Heck yeah, because we got Carlos Santana,
hmm
and that's all that matters.
That is all that matters. Um, I it's hard to predict 60 games because the White Sox are scary,
Dude,
and
no one's talking about the dang White Sox. I'm more scared of the White Sox than I am the Twins this year. I'll be
I
honest.
am too. I feel like the Twins regress. Like every single one of their players last year played out of their mind, and I feel like the Twins regress. Um, the White Sox are scary, and they're scary for the next few years too.
And that like they're good now, and it's that's even with like, oh, what if Eloy Jimenez starts to live up to his potential? Then it's
Yeah,
really gonna get scary.
yeah. I mean, uh, let's. I want to look at the White Sox
At least
farm
we
right
got the
now,
Tigers and the Royals. That's good.
and they don't seem like they're going anywhere. Um, let me look at there's what's his name, Luis crap, I can't. Luis Robert, Michael
Hmm.
Kopech, Andrew Vaughn, Nick Madrigal. Dude,
Hey, my name is.
their their farm system's so good. I'm so afraid of the White Sox.
Who do they have? Who are their pitchers? I'm trying to. They still have
I
Giolito as their closer, right?
I'm 99% sure they signed Keuchel this year, which Keuchel's been interesting. They have Lucas Giolito, who I've always been high on. He has
Yeah.
a very nice curveball, but he's just had some issues. Um, they have Gio Gonzalez. That's kind of surprising. Um,
Oh yeah, he's a thing.
I don't I don't know much about Dylan Cease or Carson Fulmer enough to
Mm.
make an educated guess on how their team's gonna do. But I don't know. Like their pitching, I'm not too worried about. I just find them to be a very solid overall team that's just gonna only
Uh-huh.
get better. So um so I'm trying to figure out my predictions for this year. I want to look at the every single team really quickly and figure out. Um, see
I
the
think I
A's.
had the Indians going. I had them going 33-27. But it's so hard to predict a season like this that we've never seen before.
I have the Indians winning 37 games this year.
Oh my! I hope.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only time you could ever say that. But
I
I
think there's
think
going to be a 50-win team.
no. God no.
40 wins.
Yes.
45.
Yes.
40. Ooh, that's hot. That's hot.
Yeah, I feel like the Dodgers can hit 45. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised in a second if they hit 45. Um, Let me look here. All right, for the AL East, I still like the Rays, even though I'm scared about their start they might get on.
I think the Yankees will take the East.
They're going to be my wild card team. Um, the Indians will win the Central. The Astros will win the West.
With a lot of bruised bottoms, so hopefully.
You know what? Yankees won't make it.
Oh,
The
what?
the AL West will be the Astros with the Athletics making the wild card, and
Oh,
we will finally get to watch Mike Trout in the playoffs again, and he will be in the wild card as well with the Angels. That's my prediction. Looking at it now. Yep.
see, I think with the 60-game season, there's going to be a bigger emphasis on pitching. And who the heck do the Angels have at pitcher?
I feel like no matter what, like the first 20 games or so, pitching's going to get lit up like spring training like it usually does, so it's not going to matter as much.
I don't know.
And
I think the A's have a real chance this year.
I really like the A's, but they're another team like the Rays I was talking about. Like, I think they're gonna, start off like playing some like slightly above 500 baseball the entire season, then go on a toured run in September. But
Mm,
I still like them for this. The NL East, I like the Braves winning it.
yeah.
The Mets are a scary team this year that nobody's talking about. Um,
hmm
the NL Central, Reds are a scary team this year that nobody's talking about either. And the NL is gonna be really good this year.
hmm
NL West, the Dodgers are gonna win. I feel the
Yeah.
Rockies might have a little bit of a chance, but I'm trying to think for my wild card teams for the NL, and I have the Nationals, the Mets, the Reds, and the Cardinals all biting for that spot, and I have no idea who to pick. All right, I'm gonna take
I'm
out the
looking at
Reds.
divisions right now.
So now it's between the Mets, the Nationals, and the Cardinals for 3 playoff teams. All right, so I took out the Reds. I think I'm going to
Dude,
take out. I'm going to
I
take out the
think
Card. I'm going to take out the Cardinals. I'm going to go with Nationals and Mets in the wild card as well.
that's what I was. I was thinking Mets as my second, but I'm going Nationals and there's part of me that wants to say the freaking Phillies. Am I slow?
I don't know if I like the Phillies though. I
I feel like the Phillies can make a run this year.
like it all depends on if Bryce Harper can get to wherever he is, wherever he's supposed to be. Like they have Zach Wheeler on their team. That's a great addition. That
Oh, they got Gregorius.
they have Didi
That's solid.
Gregorius. They have one of the best catchers in the league in JT Realmuto. Um,
hmm
McCutcheon's kind of a shell of his former self. Aaron Nola's fine.
I like Aaron Nola. I think he's solid.
Yeah, yeah.
Arrieta? Really? They still have
Jake
I
Arrieta's a
like Gene
shell
Segura
of a
too. Oh my god.
former self. Gene Segura's fine. I don't know.
I don't know, dude.
I'm looking at them. I'm not sold on them, but if
I'm
they
going
want
Nationals and Phillies
Nationals and Phillies,
for
all
the
right.
wild cards.
I like the take. It's a little bit out of the box, but I like it. MVP wise, Mike Trout will always win MVP until proven otherwise.
Carlos Santana.
Right. Carlos Santana.
Carlos Santana is getting the triple crown this year.
I think there's a very good chance this year that a reliever could win the MVP, just due to the short
A
amount of games.
reliever. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Um, MVP or Cy Young. I think there's a very good chance. Cy
I
Young
think if there's going to
winners.
be any Indian to win an award this year, I think it's going to be Clevenger for Cy Young.
Any major award like MVP, Rookie of the Year,
hmm
or Cy
Yeah,
Young, not like Gold
like
Gloves and all that.
yeah, you're always going to get fellas like that.
Cy Young, I don't see Clevenger winning the Cy Young this year.
I see it. I also see Jose Ramirez as a sleeper MVP candidate. I think if he comes out this season like Jose Ramirez should, like it's going to be scary for a 60-game stretch.
It's a good take that I like. I do like that take. National League, Ronald Acuna seems to be the favorite.
Yeah.
I like Pete Alonso.
Soto?
I'm not
I don't know. I might.
on high as Soto as everybody else is. But I do like him, but I don't think he's gonna have a great as a year as what everybody thinks. Ronald Acuna seems to be the favorite. Mookie Betts is always there. Christian Yelich is there. I'm gonna go with Fernando Tatis Jr. However, I think
Ooh.
he's gonna make a huge step
He's
this
gonna.
year. He's gonna be, especially if the Padres can get into the playoff contention. I don't think they will,
Mm-hmm.
but if they could, he could be my guy.
If I
Cy,
remember, doesn't Tatis strike? Well, he's young. He's going to strike out a lot, but you think he's going to cut the strikeouts down a lot this year?
I think he's gonna translate those strikeouts into walks more. Yes.
Ooh. But not like Carlos Santana because when he walks, my nips just get hard. I'm sorry. I
Right.
have to say
Right.
it's on the record now. Okay, we're good.
Cy Young this year, it's hard to go against Garrett Cole, but I'm gonna go
Wait,
with
who's he with now?
he's with
Is
the
he on the?
Yankees.
Yeah, he is. Oh, Jesus.
I I like Tyler Glass now for the Rays. For my Cy Young this year. I really like him for that.
I'm going Clevenger. I got to do it.
Clevenger's a fair take. I feel like I'd still put Bieber over Clevenger just because Clevenger has a lot of short outings, whereas Bieber is able to extend his outings more and get more strikeouts
I can
just
see that.
due to his length. Um, but I don't hate on it. Clevenger's a top 10 ace in the American League.
Mm-hmm.
Cy Young for the NL. I like Walker Buehler. That's a good take. Max Scherzer has always been my guy that I've always leaned on. But I'm gonna
Is
say
it going to be DeGrom again?
DeGrom's also a good take. Jack Flaherty's a good take. I'm gonna say Josh Hader though. I'm gonna stick with my reliever.
Ooh.
I'm gonna stick with my reliever take, and
Oh, frick.
Josh Hader's gonna win the Cy Young.
All right, you know what? This has been something I've wanted to see since he came into the league. Mr. Strasburg is finally going to get that Cy Young. I'm going dream scenario, Clevenger and Steven Strasburg. Strasburg had an underrated year last year
He did.
when it came to regular season. I mean, he showed up for the postseason, obviously, by getting that World Series MVP. But he had a really good regular season, and no one really talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going Strazzy.
I'm fine with that take. All right, rookie of the year.
Casey approval.
Rookie.
I don't even know rookies. Frick.
Lewis Robert for the White Sox is my guy for.
Okay.
The NL.
Gavin Lux. Is he even going to be? No, they're probably going to keep him down.
I think they do keep him down.
What about that Reds dude? Is he still technically a rookie? Aquino, is that his name?
Aquino?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Is Jordan Alvarez a rookie still? Does he qualify?
Let me look at some service. Let me look at Aquino. I don't think Aquino's gonna be a rookie. I could be wrong though. Who'd you say, Jordan Alvarez?
Yeah. I think he played like 100 games.
For the Astros? Are you talking about for the Astros?
Yeah. I don't know how many games he played last year, so is he going to qualify for as a rookie this year?
It doesn't look like it. He played 100 games last year.
Oh, he won Rookie of the Year last year. Holy frick.
Oh, yeah.
I'm stupid. All right. Glad you guys are tuning in for this. So
I don't know. I don't know
okay.
any other.
Wow, I picked the Rookie of the Year last year to win it this year. I'm not good with baseball rookies. It's so freaking hard.
Let's go Dylan Carlson from the
Who?
From the St. Louis Cardinals.
Cardinals?
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at you.
All right.
That's gonna be my picks. But no, I'm excited for this.
I'm gonna pick Mike Trout's gonna accidentally win Rookie of the Year, and then Carlos Santana's gonna get traded to the Dodgers, and he's gonna win Rookie of the Year somehow.
Very nice.
I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know where I'm going with this.
All right.
Just stop me.
Well, I don't have anything else to talk about, Matt. I don't know about you.
We could talk about Jesus.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna call it a show then. All right. Episode 18 of the Brown Mamba Show. Follow our links below our usernames. Follow my OnlyFans.
Oh God, don't! I hate that sentence.
Um,
Wait, what's your OnlyFans again?
Brownie Delight 45.
Oh, mama.
And I want to give a quick thank you to Last Modified for allowing us to use their song Changes for our intro and outro.
Oh wow, that's
yeah.
fun.
Yeah. But besides
Oh
that,
yeah, I want to give a big thank you to the troops. Yeah,
Troops.
top that. Yeah, top that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so suck it.
That sounds good. All right. Episode 18 of the Brown Mama Show. We back.
Nice. I'm gonna poop.
Nice. All right.